Share the screen. All right, so we're sharing the screen. So we're going to do now the example that we have here. I think it's our last of the intro examples. And this is the zero-shot classifier. Okay. So let's take a look at that. It's similar. It's a type of classification, but using large language models, basically. Okay. Let's take a look at this one. So we're using transformers. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to have my Jupyter notebook open here. Okay, I'm going to few cells. I'm going to add the libraries here. So Control copy. All right. So from transformers, import pipeline. From transformers, auto model for sequence classification and the auto tokenizer. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and run that. Okay, there it is. All right, then let's take a look at next one. So it uses CPU. That's the device. I'm showing this because when you have access to a GPU, you definitely want to change that to a GPU. You'll see other ways of doing this, but certainly you want to, you have to, that's one thing that's not so straightforward sometimes, how you select a device, right? So in this case, we're using transformers libraries, so obviously it's a little bit more straightforward. All right, so now let's go ahead and create a classifier. So imagine when you've taken a machine learning class before, 520 or some other class, and you learn, you're okay, I need some data and I need to make a neural network with 3 layers, right? And I'm going to have the images or whatever it is and my labels, and I'm going to train it. And then I get like 87% precision, F measure, right? That's kind of what you're used to, doing it from scratch. But that's, these large language models are very impressive because they actually can do these things just because you give it a prompt and they give you some words, right? So somebody had the idea, well, let's just see if we can predict a class based on just the words that it's going to predict. They usually call that zero-shot classification. There's also few-shot classification when they give a few examples. It's like, okay, I'm going to give you these few examples, and then zero-shot just means as is, basically, right? And predict the word. So in this case, we are going to use the pipeline once again. We need to specify that we want zero-shot classification. We're using from Facebook the BERT large MNLI, and we instantiate our classifier. Okay, there we go. Okay. It's gonna, as I said, these are big, so it's probably a big one. Okay, finished. Then now we kind of go back to that same problem that we looked at before. We're going to try it in a more simple way. All right, so we have sequence to classify. I'm going to France, and then candidate labels are travel, cooking, dancing. All right, so we add those in. And now let's just run the classifier. Now, keep in mind, this is a model that, we're from Facebook, BERT large MNLI, so it's not all transformers will be able to do this, right? So it's got to be the specific architecture that we select. So again, if you wanted to try these out, you would go to the Hugging Face hub and look for few-shot classifiers. You see that? And then you look at everything that they have available. Does that make sense? So this is how you can find them, basically. And that's kind of the idea with Hugging Face at the end of the day, because all of you can share models and post them on your website or something, but this is searchable, and they've organized them. So they just facilitate using them. All right, so in this case, we run the classifier, we have a result. Okay, so now we're going to print the results and analyze them. Okay, so the sequence is I'm going to France. We have the labels. We've got the scores are 98, 0, 0. and 0.5. This is softmax now, right? Now from 520, you know softmax is just a way so that all the values that are predicted add up to 1. So here 0.98, and these two all together adds up to 1. But so then what does that mean? Do you think this zero-shot classifier worked, or do you think it failed? It worked, right? So because it said that travel with 98% confidence. Got it? So according to this pipeline, all we have to do is give it these words, give it a sentence, right? So let's try this out then. Give me a sentence. First, let's start with something easy, okay? Let's start with something easy, a sentence. Think of 3 labels for it, and let's see if it's able to classify. Do you see what I'm saying, guys? All right, so what's a sentence here? Whatever you want. Again, okay. Okay, okay. My cat kind of likes, okay. All right, and then what are the labels? Let's stay with 3. Pet, okay. What else? So this would be about pet, cars, or vehicles, or actually in plural. So pets, let's see if it's got that semantic, right, understanding about things, about the world. So it is from Facebook, so it might be pretty good. Yeah. Pets, cars, and what else? What's another topic here? Pets, cars. Smoking. Huh? Smoking. Okay, smoking. Sure. All right, so then, well, let's see what happens, right? I'm just following the... All right, so what else do we need? Hopefully nothing else. We give that to the classifier. And then my cat kind of likes you. Pet, smoking, cars. What do you guys think? I wonder if it's just a position, just so I'm not... Let's change the position, right? Because it could be Facebook just tricking. All right, so let's do pets like that, right? So now the values should shift, I assume. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So it's just predicting, like, now it thinks it's cars.
No, but the label.
Yeah, you labeled this thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
I think it sorts them by probability.
Oh, it's sorting them. You think it's sorting them by probability? Okay. Okay. That's good. All right, so it is working then. Okay, all right. So to test your theory then, let's make it about smoking, right? Which is in the middle. So right? Yeah. So what's a sentence for smoking here?
Like that.
Kind of like my cat kind of likes tobacco. No, what?
Tobacco rates have fallen.
Tobacco rates have fallen. My cat kind of likes that tobacco rates have fallen, like that. Okay, this is a complicated one because it could be about pets, could be about smoking.
Probably both cats and smoking.
Maybe, right? Both classes. Okay. All right, let's try that.
I mean, it definitely went up.
So it thinks it's pets, and then it thinks smoking is 13%. So it's confusing, right? Because we're talking about a cat. Cat is like a very classic thing. So let's just do the I like that tobacco rates have fallen, right? This shouldn't be about pets, right? It's definitely not about cars. Let's try it. Huh? So the word smoking is not in there. Tobacco is. I like that tobacco rates have fallen, and it says it's smoking, and it sorts them with a probability of 94. And then, yeah, the other one is pets. Yeah, good. This is a good classifier. It's only possible, as I said, when you guys took 520 and you thought of this problem, you would then take, okay, you would think text, got to collect 100,000 samples of text. Then I'm going to label every single one as car, smoking, pets, right? I want it to be balanced. You do all of that. This is your brain for 520. Now in 530, you have a new tool, right, to attack this problem. You see what I'm saying? So this is really important. This shows you the power of these large language models. This is for text. When we look at fast AI, it's going to be for images mostly. So we're going to look at images like Sci-Fi 10 and MNIST and all that. But here you can see this. So this is really nice. And there's many more things on Hugging Face's hub. I do recommend that you go on there, take a look at what's available. A lot of tools. They have speech now. It's Whisper and various things for audio, like audio files. I think they even have a stable diffusion thing for those images where you write the cat on the moon with a spaceship and it's a Jedi and it generates the image. So they'll have all of that. So definitely check them out. But that today, I wanted to show just some simple examples, okay, of how this works. Okay, so now you know the basic ideas, and maybe I'll do a few more later in the semester. All right, any questions on this one? All right, play with this. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is we're going to talk about the homework for this topic and also the mini project, okay, which the mini project is a mini project, so it's a little bit more difficult. All right, so I'm going to save this. Stop sharing.